Tonight, you people at home are going to have the opportunity to participate in a unique television event. For tonight, you will decide whether one man will ever appear on this show again.
On a 1982 episode of the American television program Saturday Night Live, they held a live phone vote to determine the fate of one of its regular performers, Andy Kaufman.
If you never want to see Andy Kaufman on this show, dial 1-900-720...
What do you think he did to get voted off?
Was it wildly offensive?
To several people of one gender, yes.
Oh.
So that could have put him over the edge, but he did a variety of things. And this is kind of interesting. Doesn't have to do with the SNL thing, but some people still to this day think he faked his death.
Oh.
Boys and girls, this is a man that I love very much. The word genius comes to mind, but I will let you decide for yourselves. Andy Kaufman.
All right, welcome to 55 Folks. I'm Brian. Sam unfortunately couldn't be in studio this episode. We got him on audio call here. Where are you off at?
Well, it's quite a story, really. I had some thieves break into my home and steal my rug, and okay. I've been trying to get that back.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it really tied the room together. Also have a big bowling league I've got to get to later this evening, so I'm pretty preoccupied with that.
Okay. Yeah, well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
His performances were known for being unconventional, unpredictable, and often challenging audience expectations. He frequently engaged in bizarre and often disruptive behavior, blurring the lines between comedy, performance art, and real life.
All I'm trying to do is have some fun.
So why did they put it up to a vote? It's kind of a dangerous precedent. Could you imagine if America decided who our leaders were?
Yeah, in a one-day vote or something.
Yeah.
A lot of his whole thing was kind of generating discomfort as a form of comedy. He wasn't ever really trying to play to an audience or please an audience. He was just kind of doing his own thing. He kind of saw the whole world as a game, I guess. He was always kind of in character, like when he'd appear on one of those late night talk shows or something. He wouldn't just be himself. He's always doing something.
They pressured me into it,
They being
Saturday Night Live pressured me into it. You don't do this, we'll ruin you. You'll never work again in this business. We'll ruin your reputation. But they said, we'll spread it around that you're hard to work with. You'll never get another job in this business again. So I said, okay.
He had several different characters he would do performances in.
The second boy, he say, I thought you had them. So wait, listen.
He had an Elvis impersonation, which, I don't know, he wasn't going for discomfort or subversion much with characters like that.
I would like to imitate for you the Elvis Presley.
One time he sang each verse of 100 bottles of beer on the wall. So he started at 100, of course. He would count down, and then when he got to 8, he just abruptly stopped. So a lot of times he would just lip sync songs as his act, kind of a performance. One time, this wasn't on Saturday Night Live, he did this, but at a college show, there was a university audience. He just sat down and began reading the entire novel, The Great Gatsby.
It's called The Great Gatsby. It's by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And here it is.
I've got a hot take. Do you ever have to read The Great Gatsby?
I don't believe so.
Oh, man, you look up, if you look up a top 10 great American novels or whatever, it'll be on every list, and it's terrible. Mm-hmm. I just did not enjoy the book.
Tough read.
It was a tough read.
More like, not great Gatsby.
Yeah, that's right. Read it for yourself and come to your own conclusions, but I was not a fan. I think you should read that and then read, I don't know. You ever read East of Eden by Steinbeck? I mean, that was like a great book, I thought. And then I read, and then you compare that to The Great Gatsby. It's like, this doesn't even...
So I guess point is, all this stuff, for the most part he was doing, it doesn't really make you like a broad appeal. Audience favorite, like most entertainers, they're like trying to relate to the audience a bit. Even if they're not like placating, you're still like, you're trying to get the audience's approval to some degree, or engage and acknowledge them and everything. But the more offensive act I mentioned that perhaps pushed things over the edge is he would wrestle women on stage.
I will pay $1,000 to any woman that will beat me in this ring.
And I don't believe he ever lost. One match went like 3 minutes once, I think was the longest. He declared himself intergender wrestling champion of the world. So he did this on SNL, but he would do it all over the country. Like, he'd promote these shows, offering money to any woman who could show up and beat him. And then he'd like play the heel, he'd like try to provoke the audience.
Before television, wrestlers used to go from town to town in carnivals and offer $500 to any man that could last in the ring with them for 3 minutes. So I figured if I could offer a prize and make it like a contest, it could get very, very exciting. And it turned out to be like one of the highlights, one of the most exciting parts of the concert. But I couldn't very well challenge men in the audience because I'd get beaten right away. I mean, most men are bigger than me and stronger than me. So I figured if I challenge women, there are enough women who are almost as big or as big as me, who they would have a good chance to beat me.
It's kind of surprising that there are Ronda Rousey or some of these UFC fighters. It probably wasn't as big of a thing back in the day, but...
Yeah, and someone like that may not even want to get involved in this, So it might be kind of self-prohibitive of anyone who could beat him may not try, because you're giving in to his act.
All I'm trying to say is it takes a certain mental energy to wrestle. It takes a certain way of thinking, a certain strategy. Women, I do not think, possess this. I just don't think they do. When it's a woman against a man, the woman does not possess it, the man does. Now, by the same token, there are times when women have more of this mental energy than men. For instance, in the kitchen, scrubbing the potatoes, washing the carrots, scrubbing the floors, raising the babies.
So he would say stuff like that to just get people riled up and whatever, playing this character.
When I do the wrestling act, I'm playing a role of a villain. It's just like any actor that plays a role of a villain in any movie or TV show. I'm playing the villain, and what I'm trying to do is get the people to dislike me just like they would any villain, so that they'll root for the woman I'm wrestling, and so that they'll really dislike me and hope that I lose, and get really excited. Whenever I play a role, no matter if it's a good, a bad, an evil person or a nice person, I believe in being a purist and going all the way with the role.
In total, over the course of his career, he wrestled over 400 women doing this bit. And said several times he went on to date the women that he had wrestled. So might have been a bit more going on there. We could do the new segment, Did They Drown?
Oh, yeah. So we're testing out this new segment of Did He Drown? And what a better week to start it than with Mr. Kaufman. So I would ask you, did he drown?
No. He died in 1984 from lung cancer at the age of 35.
Oh, wow.
And so, it was kind of still the peak of his
I didn't know
career.
35-year-old's got lung cancer. That is young.
He did a last-ditched effort. He went to the Philippines and tried some more spiritual or natural remedy he had heard about or something. And that was a week. He came back and claimed he was healed, and then he died a week later. A lot of people at the time, probably not a lot currently, I'm sure this has died out some, but they thought he just faked his death, because he was so young.
Yeah.
And he was that type of performer, you never really knew what was real, so he's kind of the type of guy you think might try something like that as a stunt. Alex Braverman spent 7 years working on a documentary about him, and he said, I love this idea that as his career is going down in flames, for him, it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. That's part of the act. The act doesn't solely exist on TV or on stage. It's like a full life commitment. The venue is the whole world. You can really hear the echoes of his work today. You're constantly looking at public figures and wondering to yourself, is what they're doing real? Are they being themselves? Is this part of an act? Is it somehow part of some larger media strategy? I don't know that it all began with Andy, but he's certainly the first person I'm aware of that was doing that. Stuart Jeffries says this about him in the same article. Kaufman's sense of reality from an early age was skewed. He spent long hours alone in his bedroom putting on shows for imaginary television cameras. He produced, he later claimed, 4 hours of programming each day. In his late teens, he became a drug addict and lived rough on the streets. He was saved by his interest in transcendental meditation and by creating an innocent, daffy comic persona, argues executive producer Josh Safety. The mask that he attached himself to was a safety mechanism, Safety says. Braverman says, it's fun to think about what he would be doing now. He used to say that his dream was to have cameras follow him 24/7. And that's what has happened since, with reality shows such as Big Brother and The Real World. He was thinking way ahead. Maybe he still is. Who do you bowl with?
Well, I bowl with Walter, but it's Shabbat coming up, so he's not going to be able to make it tonight. And Donnie's the other guy's name.
Okay.
We're bowling against this guy. Last week there was quite a run-in. The guy's toe was over the line, and Walter got really upset over the whole thing. We got almost kicked out of the...
This was league, right? This wasn't just a casual... It was a league game.
It was a league game. And his toe was over the line, so...
And he tried to like actually score.
Yeah, he tried to score.
He didn't mark it 0.
It really escalated. Walter pulled a gun on him.
Jeez.